Hi guys, Tim here from Topper. We're underneath the kitchen sink and you may recognize this installation from an earlier video. The customer has asked us to add a line over to an ice maker. Now this is one of the most common mistakes made by installers out in the field regarding a WOW unit, and that is trapping air. Okay, so what I mean by that is that along one of the delivery lines, like let's say to an ice maker, maybe a coffee maker or something, where they didn't properly bleed the line that may have air trapped in it. Okay, so what we have right now is we have the system, we have our FA2 line, which is the 1/4 inch line going up to our dedicated faucet at the kitchen sink. Bring it back up here. And right now, we're showing a nice flow, which is normal. Bring it back down, Gary. You're gonna see that the gauge here drops to 0 the moment I close that faucet. So this system is totally operational right now. The FA line is the 3/8 inch line, which is normally plugged, but this is an available port so that the installer can now add a long distance run to an ice maker or whatever. Okay, so in the pages beyond 13 to 22, it talks about adding other devices in our manual, and this is an isolation valve. Now the reason why this system is properly operating right now is because the isolation valve is closed. There's no air trappage in here. Now the valve here, the CPU valve underneath the manifold here, will get a sense of this air pressure inside the line to where the valve will not advance. Now I'm going to demonstrate this. Gary, if you could pull out. I have taken 25 feet of 3/8 inch tubing. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to demonstrate what happens when you don't bleed the system. So I'm going to open up the valve, the isolation valve, and this valve is closed, simulating a closed line to the ice maker or to the door dispenser 25 feet away. Okay, so what's happening right now, the moment I open up that valve, is I have a drop in pressure, the valve is open back up, I'm going back into squeeze mode right now. Watch what happens. It's just going to sit there and hang out. It's not going to drop to atmosphere. Even if I, watch this Gary, even if I draw water from the faucet, I still have air trapped in this line here. Bring it back down. I'm still trapped. Now watch. It goes down a little bit, the waistline opens up, but then it starts climbing up in pressure. So what's happening right now is my waistline is closed as long as I have pressure on this line. My waistline is closed. I'm going to over-concentrate the membrane. Production rate is going to shut down, and this machine becomes inoperable. It will not work. I've had a couple of returns from a couple of retailers where the system wasn't operational because there was air trapped in the system. Okay, so watch what happens. I'm going to now bleed the system, and this is as simple as it gets. What you do under these conditions is you open up the isolation valve, you go over to the refrigerator, you scoop out the ice cube tray, and then make sure the lever is on for the ice machine to start drawing water. And it's as simple as this. Hear that burst of air? Now I have water that has pushed all the air out of this tube. I'm going to close this valve, bring us back down to the gauge, Gary. I have now cleared the air out of that line. I am in full operation at this point. Everything is just great. The system is in total operation. I'm going to draw water from the system, from my regular faucet. Watch this, goes right down. It's as simple as that, you guys. When you install a second or a third or a fourth outlet, you must draw water across those lines and clear the air out of the lines. It will not work without it. So you have to go through a bleeding process. That is at the back end of each of these add-ons in the manual, where the final thing to do is to bleed the lines. Air trap, it will not work. Okay, we'll see you at the next video. Thanks.